Welcome to the Profitable Cleaner podcast. Join your hosts, James Harper and Angel Sandoval, bringing you the experts, discussions, and knowledge you want. We talk about sales, technology, marketing, operations, strategy, leadership, mindset, health, God, and so much more. Now, are you ready to profit?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Profitable Cleaner Halloween edition. Super excited that you got to join us. Today is going to be a little bit different. If you're on YouTube, you can see that I am wearing my outfit, my costume, my angel outfit. I'm 29 years old and I've never worn an angel outfit, which is very interesting. So if you're on YouTube, you can see it. If you're on the podcast, go to YouTube or just imagine me as an angel, because it shouldn't be any different. I'm always an angel. But let's get started. So I wanted to do something different. Instead of having a guest today, even having my co-host today, we're just going to do a 10-minute training, a 10-minute thought-provoking, challenging, loving podcast episode. And so if you don't leave this podcast episode wanting to be better, ask yourself the right questions, then I didn't do my job. So what is your job right now? Your job is to listen, take notes if you want to, but the key is just focus on listening and answering the questions that I'm going to ask and really processing the message I'm going to give. For me, what my job is just to really pour value to you and give you what's been on my heart lately. So let's talk about this. So let's talk about Halloween. Everybody likes to dress up. We get a lot of people that like to dress up and get in their costumes, right? Like for myself right now, I'm dressed as an angel, which is very interesting that I've never dressed up as an angel. So here's what I want to talk about today: your costume versus your calling. Costume versus calling. Angel, what are you talking about? A calling is what God has put in your heart for you to go do. A costume is ignoring what God put in your heart and you pursuing what you think you need to do based on the external, based on what you want others to see, based on what you think is success, based on what others have told you. Instead of understanding that you were put in this earth for a specific calling, a specific purpose, on a specific mission. Costume versus calling. So I'm going to ask you, as you're listening to this right now, what is your calling? Have you sat with Christ enough to know what your calling is? Have you built yourself in the community that can push you for this calling? Or are you still moving around in a costume? A costume is where you can literally like fake it around for a day, right? Like everybody in Halloween gets to fake around for a day what they wish they were, or some weird thing that they wish maybe I can't be this person or this thing, so I'm gonna become that thing for 24 hours, and then they go back to who they actually are. So my question to you is: are you walking around right now wearing a costume or stepping into your calling? See, it's interesting that I picked this outfit. They were gonna do something here, and a couple friends were gonna do something, and they're like, "Oh, wear something." And I thought about this angel costume, and in 29 years I haven't worn it, so it's very interesting that now I did. And so it made me start going into the Bible and start wondering, what did angels do across the Bible? The stories, the fallen angels, the one that fought those angels, and what they did for God and for Jesus. What kind of messages did they relay? And it made me start thinking, they were made for that purpose, to protect the kingdom, to deliver the message, right? To be part of the journey of the people that are getting closer to God or that are put in a bigger calling. They're called to go to war. And it made me wonder about myself. Not only do I have the name, but am I actually going to war? That's what I want you guys to think. What are y'all doing? Are y'all wearing a costume, or are you jumping into your calling? If you're still wearing a costume, and as I say this, you don't know what your calling is, or you haven't really pursued it, or you get caught up in the everyday and the external, and so you become a reactive person versus a person seeking. Seek and you shall receive is what they say. Ask and you shall be given. But if you never allow yourself to seek and ask, then you're just living somebody else's. You're living in a fake world. And that's why we call it a costume. So my question to you and my encouragement to you is stop living in a costume, start living in a calling. All right, hang with me for the next minute and a half. We got a quick break here in the Profitable Cleaner because we're officially official. It's like I like to say it. Why? Because I get to take this break and introduce our sponsors. First sponsors is USource. So go to usource.com. That's usource.com. This is a business management platform for facility services companies. No more chaos, unnecessary admin work, or just having to consolidate information. This is about you not being the source of information anymore and having a platform that can give you the accessibility, visibility, and control over your operation. So see more, do more, whether you're one employee or 3,000 employees, this is the platform for you. So check out our sponsor, usource.com. Our second sponsor, dayporter.com. They will help you with all your outbound, LinkedIn, email, call, and they're going to do it with a team from Latin America. So make sure that you reach out to them, dayporter.com. They can help you hire your next superstar and give you the strategies to go book the walkthroughs that you're looking for. The third one is going to be Melgar Consulting. That's alexmelgar.com. If you're hovering around the $5 million range and you're in the facility services industry, want to hit those 20, want to keep bumping your head and really want to scale, he is going to be able to consult and help you have the right foundation, the right structure, and the right strategies, and the right advisory and consulting to get you past those 5 to 20 million. So go to alexmelgar.com. And last but not least, our fourth sponsor, cleaningprofits.com. That is our annual event for facility services CEO, executive teams, leadership teams. Bring them out. This is all about transformation. It's all about training. It's all about community. And it's held once a year, this year, September 12th to the 14th. So thank you once again to all of our sponsors. And let's continue on to the show. Commit to the side of what God has given you and the power that you personally have and the mission that you have. Now, if you are going to celebrate Halloween, of course, go have fun, do your thing, dress up. But just understand that when that dress up is over at the 24 hours, you're back to being you. So the question, the message in this Halloween podcast is, who are you? If I were to go and record you in a camera for 2 weeks, what would I say about you? If I recorded your family with you there, what would they think about your family? If I interviewed 50 people, 5 that are close, 10 that are kind of close, 20 that know you through social media, and 30 that are just around in your vicinity, if I were to go and ask them what your name means, what your name stands for, what you've done, what would they say? If I asked you, what would people lose if you died today? What would you answer? And the reason that I'm bringing these questions up is because it's time that somebody, maybe you haven't had this, tells you right now it's time to let go of the costume, step into the calling. It's time to commit. No more playing small. No more excuses. No complaining. No more of the old story. If you have a previous story of how you got to where you're at today, let go of that previous story and start the story today so that you give God and yourself the capacity to build an even bigger story that is not anchored by what the previous story was. I tend to do that a lot. I'll go back to when I came illegally and it's like, why am I still telling that story? I'm a citizen now. Why am I still telling the stories that I built my image in when the calling that I have now is bigger? Now, there's nothing wrong with reflecting on where you came from or what you've accomplished or what you've been through, but it's not your story anymore. It's not the new story. It's part of the costume, and it's time to take off your costume and step into your calling. And so I want to share a quote with you because we talked about war, we talked about costume versus calling. The hard part with a calling is that when there's a calling, you must answer. Now, most people don't answer. Be careful though, because when you answer to the calling, now you have to commit. You have to do something about it. And 99, most of the times, 9 out of 10, I don't even know, a calling is not going to be easy. Just because you have a calling, just because you got a calling, does not mean that the road's going to be easy. Just because you finally sat and listened and said, oh, I'm building this, I'm doing this, I'm going for it, does not mean that it's going to be easy. It's going to require a lot, and it's going to be war. All out war. And so I want to show you a quote from Sun Tzu. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. A lot of us, when I talk to a lot of people in the industry, if I could just catch a break, if I could just land that client, I'm just going and I'm just hoping that I get some funding, hoping that I get good employees, hope. That doesn't do anything for you. You're going into war and seeking your win to feel good about yourself versus realizing that you can be victorious before the war even starts, and then you go to war. Listeners, understand that this is an internal game. This is an internal war. Every single day we go to war. Every single day there's a calling. Every single day we got to get closer to the calling that God has placed in us. And every day you get to choose if you don't or if you don't. If you do or you don't. Every day. Every day you can go to war or you can back down. Every day you can see yourself as a winner, or you can try to seek an external thing, a worldly thing, to give you the value to make you feel like the winner, for you to then go and show up and have victory. You have to be able to do it the other way. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war. So if you feel defeated right now, don't go to war and seek a win to feel value of yourself. Instead, win the battle internally. Pray. Do what you got to do. Get in the Word. Reflect. Let go of the old limitations and the old story and build a new one. Every single person that's listening to this right now, I know, is ready to go to war. Is ready to win. Is ready to have victory. And that's why this Halloween I decided to dress up, not in a costume, but into my calling. Or I'm supposed to go to war. Or I'm supposed to do ministry. Or I'm supposed to represent, right? Part of being a man of God is being a priest and a preacher. And so being able to reflect that. So I want to encourage every person listening to this. Are you in a custom or are you in a calling? Drop your custom. Drop your custom. No more. No more customs. Step into it. No more, I just never learned how to lead. Yes, because this is my family. Yes, because... And you start building and patching and sewing together this custom, and then you put it on, you're like, this is me. And it's all based on external, nothing that has to do with your calling. No more. No more. If you're listening to this, literally say, today, I will drop my costume. And today, I step into my calling. Say it again. Today, I drop my costume and I step into my calling. As of right now, I'm victorious. I'm a winner. I'm already a winner no matter what the result of war is. No longer seeking approval from the external to finally feel like a winner. So I'm going to let y'all go and do your little Halloween costume and have a good time and hang out with friends and go trick-or-treating. Yeah, you're going to have a good time. But as soon as that's done, I need you to go to war. I need you to step into your calling, and not waver. If you don't know what it is, if you need community, hit me up. Let James know. Pray. Do what you got to do. But every person in this earth has a mission, has a calling. It's up to you to fulfill that calling and to step into it. So that's going to be my invitation for y'all during this podcast. Really appreciate y'all for joining. Enjoy Halloween. Enjoy the family. But as soon as it's over, no more costumes, only calling. God bless. And don't forget, we'll see you in the next episode of The Profitable Cleaner.